When it comes to planning out my work week, I only have one priority: getting stuff done. Hello beautiful, what is up? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Caitlin if you are new here. Ever since I started working for myself, I have to prioritize my weeklies. I need to make sure that I'm getting everything done, I'm getting it done on time, and I have to consider things like time zones, working with different people, and all of the never-ending list that seems to happen. If this sounds like you, these 8 different weekly spread ideas for your work are going to be perfect for you. So let's hop on into the video. For me, tracking my work weeklies requires a lot of space. I want to make sure that I can have everything visually at my fingertips and easily ready to go to get my goals done in my work weeklies. So what I'm going to be doing is creating Dutch doors a lot in the different spreads you're going to be seeing here, just by cutting things out and having that extra space. For the left-hand side, the first thing that I'm going to be doing is focusing on goals and making sure we're progressing throughout the month to make our goals achievable. So what I've done is I personally like to track 3 different tasks or projects each month, making sure that all of those things happen and are actually achievable. If I track more than 3 goals, I'm less likely to get it done. So what I've done is created 3 equal bars and numbered them off 1, 2, and 3. Then what I do below it is create a different task list for the different goals that I want to do. So what I've done personally for my work, and this is going to be probably a little different for you, but as a content creator, I have things like YouTube, Instagram, I've just started launching products in my shop, and I have other projects going on in my life. So I've divided my work categories into 3: YouTube, Instagram, and my shop, and then just general personal projects throughout the month. Those 3 goals up at the top are going to reflect the list and tasks that I put in these boxes. So for these goals, I'm dividing it into however many boxes and coloring them in based on the progress that I have. So however many steps it's going to take for me to accomplish my first, second, and third goal of the month. On this little strip, what I'm doing is writing down my ideal day. I think that hourly tracking has really helped my productivity skyrocket. I did a video about it, I'll just link that one up above. But it really talks about planning things out by the hour and chunking them out. You get more done. I don't know what it is, but it has helped me tremendously in accomplishing goals. So what I've done is wrote out my ideal hours. For my weeklies, I'm so excited. I'm going to be using my shop stickers. I have them both in the weekly Monday to Sunday, but I also have numbers in case you'd be interested in having those as well. I am just going to be using the weekly Monday to Sunday kit for this, but feel free to shop and peruse if you'd like. I'll leave my shop just linked in the description below. So I just broke down the week from Monday to Sunday horizontally, and now we're on to the second one. Here I'm creating another Dutch door, but I'm doing it a little differently. I'm cutting out a section around the entire page, so when I flip it over, you can see a little bit peeking through on either side. This is going to just personally be a decorative element for me. I like having my work weeklies, well, really any weekly spread, to feel like it flows together. So by having at least a little bit of a Dutch door there, it makes me feel like it's one spread instead of having things on 2 separate pages. For this, what I did is use some washi tape just to create a border around the page to get crisp lines when I came over with my Tombow brush pen. Now, this is a lifesaver, makes it so much easier, so much quicker to do, but you don't necessarily have to do this step if you don't want to. I did put a little piece of paper in the back as well to make the brushing in of the pen a little quicker and I could be a little messier. So here I have a brain dump section just on the right-hand side. The way that I'm structuring this weekly is that I want to have a section where I can just write down anything. I don't know if your brain works the way that mine does. Maybe it's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing, I don't necessarily know. But I like to have an area where I can just put all the jumbleness in my brain down, and that's what my brain dump section will be. This bottom section, I'm coming in with my calendar monthlies, and I am putting in a schedule later section. Not everything has to get done in one single week, so that is where this area is going to go. I'm going to be able to move my stuff from my brain dump section to either this section here where it needs to be scheduled later, or On the right-hand side, I have a page written for what is going to be happening this week. So one of my goals for my work is to launch products on my shop. Do I need to do something this week to make that happen, or is it something that can be scheduled later at a different date? So that's kind of how I would divide this to front pages. The bottom section here, I want to keep progress of 3 different things in my life. 1, burnout. It is so easy to get burnt out with work. 2, the progress that I'm making. And 3, the overall mood that I have. And I just wrote Monday to Sunday for all of that so I can write down either a number or a word associated with the day. That is really it for this front section. Now for the weekly section, all I'm doing is I'm breaking the page evenly into 4 different boxes on the left and 4 different boxes on the right. The only difference with this last little box here is I'm coloring things in for notes. Anything that kind of pops into my head that might not be a task, but something that I want to remember. Maybe something to try, some recipe to do. It could be personal, it could be professional, it could be whatever you need. Next up for my third work weekly is kind of similar to the first one where I'm breaking things down into different goals, but it's gonna be a little bit different. So underneath those goal 1, 2, and 3, I'm going to have a section to write out the different tasks that I wanna get done. What I've done personally for me is just divide each goal into 4 achievable or chunkable tasks. I differentiated each box by coloring it in with my Tombow brush pen, but you could divide these boxes into 5, 6, 7 spaces, however many you need. And then what I would do is write down exactly what I want to accomplish in that goal to make it happen. For the calendar at the bottom here, I wanted it to be more of a jot note reflection base, so I have 3 different questions. What worked, what didn't, and where are we going for the next week? That would be a really good spot for me to just kind of mood point, check in on what is going on and where I need to improve for next work week. I did add a little Dutch door here because I want to make sure that I'm seeing that calendar section every time I flip the page throughout this week. So I just put in my stickers for Monday to Sunday to make it really quick and easy setup wise, and divided each of the days using my acrylograph paint marker from Archer and Olive. That bottom section where that Dutch door is going to be, so you can see this throughout whatever day we're going to be on, is going to be a touch point for our goals. So I divided each of these rectangles into 3 different boxes and numbered them off from Monday to Sunday for my goals. What would happen is, let's say on Monday, I end up doing only 2 of the goals. So I do the first goal and I do the third goal. So I would just color those 2 boxes in. Tuesday, let's say I do all of them, some sort of task related to those goals. That is how this would work in relation to the goal page on the front. For our 4th work weekly, I think this one might be my personal favorite. It is going to be dividing the page using Dutch doors for each day of the week. So you're going to be able to see a little bit on the left and a little on the right. So for this left column section that will be visible the whole entire time, I am putting in a rewards system. For me, I kind of need to trick my brain into doing a task and rewarding it along the way. There needs to be some sort of motivation for me, sometimes especially during really busy and stressful work weeks, to get things done. So this is where our reward section is going to come into place. I have this numbered out from 1 to 32 different tasks, and I'm using my little party icons that I have on my shop to represent exactly where those reward systems are going to be in place. So every time there's a little sticker is a thing I would get rewarded. I did this in university as a student all the time with Smarties on my plate. So every couple questions I got right, I would get some sort of reward and incentive to keep going. That is kind of what this is going to be. On the right-hand side, kind of to work together with this reward system, is going to be our to-do list. So the number of boxes on the right is going to match the number of rewards on the left. So there's 32 boxes going down here. I'm going to then just write out everything I can possibly think of when it comes to getting my one goal or multiple goals done for this week, and then check it off once it's done, check my reward system, and so on and so forth. These center sections are going to be just for writing out my daily tasks list. And then the right-hand side is going to be focused more so on next week. Kind of like our last work weekly, what doesn't necessarily need to be done this week and can be scheduled the following one. That is really how I like to prioritize things in my work week, really understanding that not everything has to get done all at once. For number 5, how I'm starting this off is up at the top, I have this little box that's going to be our focus section. This is going to be our top priority, our top goal for the week, and then these 3 little boxes underneath, along with that list where I've highlighted every other line, is going to be sub-goals. So maybe our main focus this week is to eat healthy. That is our goal. Well, I have sub-goals to make that happen. Maybe it is meal prepping a certain meal. Maybe it is going to the grocery store at the beginning of the week. My 3rd mini goal could be things like not buying potato chips. I am a sucker for potato chips, so that would be something that might discourage me from eating really healthy. Whatever your goal is, you can break it down into mini goals. On the right-hand side, I've divided the page into 4 equal boxes, and I really love this method. This method of planning divides your brain dump category or tasks to do into things urgent, not, important, and not. Those categories where they align, so urgent and important, make the list of things you gotta do. Maybe it's not urgent, but it's still important. That's something you might need to schedule. If it's urgent but not important, delegate it to somebody else. If it is not urgent and not important, eliminate it from your list. And that is really going to help the planning in the work week. Those things that stay on your list that you feel like you got to get done but aren't really important, you can wipe it away and start focusing on what actually needs to get done to accomplish your goal. This top section divides it into 7 tasks you need to get done throughout the week. So maybe one of your goals is to accomplish all your daily tasks for one day. Maybe it is to accomplish your one big task for the day. Whatever works, and then you can write it out under your weekly to-do list. And then again, this bottom section here is really just for notes. Next up, I am adding in a Dutch door, and if you saw my October Plan With Me video, I did a very similar style for my weekly in that video. What I did for the top is divided it into 7 equal boxes, except it's going to be my top priority task idea for the day. So for me, I have a recording day. I also have an editing day with videos. So that is where that 1, maybe 2 word idea would go down. So I know what my focus is for the day when I'm planning out my tasks. I liked the idea of having the urgent, schedule, and delegate it idea from our 4 boxes from the previous work weekly, so that's what I incorporated in here. Whenever a new task comes in, I can write it down underneath those boxes and prioritize what I need to get done. For my weeklies, I just divided each of the Dutch door tabs into 2 dailies, and then the bottom box here is just simply for things that can get done next week. On the right-hand side, because this is a Dutch door and we can see this throughout every single day of our weekly, I have tasks 1, 2, and 3 written down where I can circle in exactly what I accomplished that day in accomplishing my goals. Over on Instagram, I asked everybody how they like to track their goals for getting things done during the week, and this was an idea where you started with a big idea and broke it down, writing everything out. So the top box you see here is going to be for our reward, our incentive to getting things done. The middle box is our big goal, our big idea. And that is where we are going to be writing down our one big task that we want to accomplish for the week. Then underneath in those little blue boxes are 1, 2, and 3 things that need to happen in order to make that big goal accomplished, really giving us a lot of space to write out exactly what needs to be done. This little Dutch door space here, I broke it down into 7 different boxes and wrote out Monday to Sunday. Here's where I'm going to write things down like events that are happening that have a standalone date. Because on the back, what I'm going to be doing is a rolling weekly. For those who do not know what a rolling weekly is, basically all you do is you write out Monday all the way to Sunday with an open space for writing your list. Zooming in close, what you do is you put a dot in for when you want the task to be completed, a line when it is started, and an X when it is completed. I did add in another little checkbox column here on the left-hand side to show exactly when those different tasks are done. All right, last weekly, what I did is created a whole bunch of squares from scrap pieces from Dutch doors. I personally like to keep them and figure out how I can reuse them. This is a perfect way. I get distracted so easily by different tasks that need to be done to accomplish a goal. So what those Dutch doors do is hide all of the lists and tasks that need to get done. So it is just very easy for you to focus on one thing at a time. You flip open the tab and then you see what you need to get done, close it up so it's not distracting. What I did for the weekly section of this is divided my page into 3 different equal boxes and put in my Monday to Sunday stickers. Because I have Sunday, I had this extra space at the bottom here and I basically just left it as a brain dump because there wasn't really an area where I could write down all of the things that I wanted to get done, maybe this week, next week, and do the whole prioritizing game that we've done before in the past. That is really it though when it comes to the different work weekly spread ideas. If you have a tip on how you get things done for your work, let me know down in the comments below. I would love to figure out more different work weekly spreads. Maybe this could become a series of some sort. And if you've enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button and consider subscribing for more videos in the future. All right, enjoy the flip through. Well, that is it. Thank you for watching the video. If you are looking for ways to increase your productivity in your work life, I'm gonna leave a video just right up there all about how I did this. And I'll see you next week for another video. Bye!